What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more ALL Heroes, and today we're going to be kind of going over a breakdown of our experiences in this first week of having Sun Devourer Eos, comparing her, of course, to what is still arguably one of the best heroes in the game, Sword Flash Shia, the first ever Transcendence hero. So, we're going to kind of break down, based on each category, who is the better or at least more useful. We're going to talk about when and where they become more useful, because they might not be as good as your first as they are when you're their like third or fourth Transcendence hero. Because a lot of people have been asking, Barry, is Eos going to be a better pick than Sword Flash? So we're going to go down a list of different categories: PvP, Sealand, Aspen, Dungeon, Tower Dreams, all of them. We're going to break down and give a check mark to the one who, at least at this point, I think is the better one overall. Some of them might get a check mark for both sides, just because, they might be good in different times, but this is kind of a good breakdown, hopefully, for you guys to make an educated decision and decide which one you would prefer to pick on your account. So, hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let's jump right into it. Now, as we go through this video, we might show some clips of some different videos that we've been doing over the past couple weeks to kind of compare the two heroes, give you guys a little bit of example as I spiel, because honestly, just looking at this while I'm talking probably isn't going to be the most entertaining thing in the world for you. So, number one I want to talk about is PvP. So the breakdown between these heroes is very interesting. Eos is probably one of the strongest PvP heroes we've had in a very long time in the game, but if it is your first Transcendence, you don't have heroes like Vesa, you don't have those artifacts like Melodic String, Snowheart. Sword Flash, I do think, is going to be the more well-rounded overall PvP hero for a first Transcendence, even like second or third if you decided to build someone else. Eos, I feel like, is more of an endgame PvP hero, which is why probably for our first category here, I'm going to give a check mark to both of them, because they both excel in PvP at different certain times on your account. Like I said, Eos, definitely the more endgame hero, Melodic String, Snowhearts on your team, outspeeding them. Sword Flash is just going to be a more dominant solo hero when you're probably more in the mid-late game type area. As you guys have seen with Melodic Strings, Eos can absolutely destroy enemies' teams and proc their shields immediately on round one, especially if she's a householder. But again, each kind of has their own advantages. Now, the next one up is Sealand. I've had some time to do a couple Sealands with Sun Devourer Eos, and overall, I'm kind of surprised on how easy she does it compared to Sword Flash. Eos really doesn't need as much support, kind of like an Asmodel doesn't need as much support as a Sword Flash. Sword Flash pretty much needs, like the Sherlocks to help dove the target so the incoming damage isn't too significant. Fiona, Inosuke, things like that are something that you kind of need on her. I've had experience, at least in this first week, that I've done a more minimal clear with Sun Devourer Eos, so I am going to give her the check mark of easier Sealand 25 to accomplish. Now, that's not as big of a deal, though, because getting to Sealand 20 is the important part, and both regular Shia and regular Eos can get you to Sealand 20 just fine with them little minimal support built around them. Eos is just very interesting that you can use like a ton of Michelles and just have them die off, giving her armor or giving her damage reduction, all those things. Very, very good hero. Sword Flash still requires a little bit more, but again, most people are going to go with Scarlet Queen to get that easy Sealand 25 for food, and then after that, it's not as important getting the other ones to 25 besides bonus Cloud Island resources. Now, we have not personally had a chance to test Eos in in Aspen Dungeon, but from the sounds of it, it is probably one of the easiest heroes to get it cleared at. Her active ability hits everybody, which is a big difference. The one thing with Sword Flash that makes her just a little bit less as good, I guess I would say, would be the fact that her active ability with the Demon Potion hits heroes in succession. So waves like Amon-Ra and Penny can be very, very dangerous against Sun Devourer Eos. not really many competitions, many challenges there. So that is something to remember. Now, Tower of Dreams. Tower of Dreams is the next one that I'm going to go over. And this one, I almost gave them both a check mark, but in reality, when you're pushing the super high depths, Sword Flash is most definitely going to work out better with the Drake combo and the Jara for CC. But granted, as you get above depth 4 or so, you're going to get outspeeded by the other team. Now, if you're talking about level depths 2 to 4 and you're farming, I do think Eos might be the better pick overall out of the two, but I did have to give the check mark to Sword Flash because she does have that vicious combo with Drake, just picking apart one target at a time. I do feel like overall she is better in Tower of Dreams. Sun Devourer could have a check mark here if we're talking about like low depths, because she can absolutely crush it in low depths. So to each their own, kind of something you have to figure out. The next one is going to be Realms Gate. So I've done some Realms Gate testing with her. Instantly adding her to my team and actually dropping the Sword Flash off my team has made me be able to farm like, I think Void Corruption 115 even smashable with only barely ever not beating a solo a wave in one attempt. Now bosses, I would say that bosses are definitely still better with the Sword Flash, but overall performance wise, I do think Sun Devourer Eos is going to be better for Realms Gate. Again, it just depends on where you are on your account. Realms Gate just feels so much like a PvP scenario with just these weird gimmicky teams. That way, I think because Eos kind of takes more of the late game trump card for PvP, I did give it to Realms Gate. But as you guys have noticed, some of the most important things are down here on the bottom, and this is where Sword Flash is really going to start taking over. Number one, Void Arc, the Void Arc boss. Besides like running like an Ithaqua or something, Sword Flash is the go-to for Void Arc boss damage. I don't think Eos would be much of a competition for Sword Flash in that, since you're only fighting for 6 rounds. Especially with Melodic Strings. I haven't tested personally Melodic Strings on Sword Flash against Void Arc boss, but I imagine it probably goes very quickly. So if it's something that you struggle killing Void Arc bosses, Sword Flash is probably the better pick out of the two, but again, to each their own. Void Vortex. So yeah, you can't really beat how cheap and inexpensive it is to do it with a Sword Flash, with 8 Demon Bells, with a Drake. It's just such a crazy combo. I still think the number 1-2 is probably going to be Sword Flash into a Scarlet Queen. Then you can have some freedom on your third one depending on what your artifacts are. If you have the artifact energy feed and Rui Scepter, you go with Jara. If you don't, you probably go with a Vesa, maybe an AO, something like that. But like Void Vortex, it's still just hands down, she's the best. I did some testing with Eos. I'll probably throw a screenshot up here for you guys while we're talking. It's all right. She can clear some waves that normally you wouldn't do with a Sword Flash, like especially Drake waves. She can actually do that. It does kind of feel like you need to invest more in Transcendence Heroes, so if you don't have them, you're probably not going to be as happy. But it is what it is. And the last category is going to be boss damage. She can't be dethroned. She does the best on bosses out of the two. Granted, I think Aspen is the best overall. Out of these two, though, I would have to give it to Sword Flash. She just does the best single target damage. Again, synergizes so well with Drake and Rogan, and because they're all assassins. Yeah, I would say Guild Boss, Star Expedition, she's still the better of the two, as we tested earlier today as well. We haven't done Broken Spaces yet, but let's be honest, Broken Spaces isn't like too high up on the majority of people's tier lists of what needs to happen. So let me know what you guys think about this. This is kind of my breakdown. Of course, the more important ones for the average player, I feel like, are in this section down here, whereas these are more early game, and there's plenty of other alternatives to clear things like Aspen Dungeon and Seal Land and all that fun stuff. So yes, they each have their own check marks, but at the end of the day, I think Sword Flash has the more important ones, so I would probably prioritize Sword Flash still. Now, probably tomorrow we'll be going over more of a what order are we supposed to be building these Transcendence Heroes in, because as people are playing longer and longer, they can build up to 3, 4, 5 Transcendence. You kind of have to have a good idea of when to build each one. So we'll go over that tomorrow, but today was just a breakdown between the two. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you guys had any different experiences, definitely leave a comment down below, because everybody's account is so different nowadays between Star Spawn, your Cloud Island, all these, even Celestial Island, all the galleries. So different. So please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this helps you guys out, and I'll see you guys next time.